Our planet is changing. Glaciers, once mighty rivers of ice, are shrinking at alarming rates. Sea levels are rising, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems. Weather patterns are becoming more extreme, bringing with them intense storms, scorching droughts, and unprecedented wildfires. These are not isolated incidents, but rather interconnected symptoms of a planet grappling with a crisis climate change. For decades, scientists have warned us about the consequences of our actions, and now the evidence is undeniable. From the rapidly melting ice caps of the Arctic to the bleaching coral reefs of the tropics, the fingerprints of climate change are visible across the globe. The delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems is being disrupted, threatening the very biodiversity that sustains life as we know it. The consequences are far-reaching, impacting not only the natural world, but also human societies and economies. As temperatures soar and weather patterns become increasingly erratic, we are witnessing firsthand the devastating effects of our changing climate. The scientific consensus is clear. Human activity is the primary driver of this global crisis. The burning of fossil fuels for energy, deforestation for agriculture and development, and industrial processes all release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and altering the Earth's delicate climate system. While climate change is a complex issue with far-reaching consequences, it is also a challenge that we, as a global community, have the power to address. The Industrial Revolution, a period of unprecedented technological advancement, propelled humanity into a new era of progress. It also marked the beginning of our planet's fever. Coal, then oil and gas, became the lifeblood of our industries, powering factories, transportation, and our insatiable appetite for energy. With each puff of smoke from factories and exhaust pipes, we released invisible gases into the atmosphere, gases that would trap heat and slowly warm our world. The very foundation of our modern world, built on the pillars of industrial might, has come at a great cost. The relentless pursuit of economic growth and technological progress has fueled an exponential increase in greenhouse gas emissions, pushing our planet's climate system to its limits. As we marvel at the wonders of our modern world, we must also confront the unintended consequences of our industrial prowess. Forests, the lungs of our planet, play a vital role in regulating Earth's climate. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, locking it away in their trunks and roots, acting as natural carbon sinks. Yet, driven by the demand for timber, land for agriculture, and sprawling urban development, we have been relentlessly clearing forests at an alarming rate. Deforestation not only releases the stored carbon back into the atmosphere, but also disrupts the delicate balance of ecosystems, reducing biodiversity and making our planet more vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Each tree felled is a blow to our planet's ability to regulate its own temperature, a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things. Our industries and vehicles are not the only culprits in this unfolding environmental drama. The byproducts of our modern lives, from the plastic we discard to the chemicals we use in agriculture, are releasing a toxic cocktail of pollutants into our air, water, and soil. These pollutants not only pose direct threats to human health, but also contribute to the greenhouse effect, further exacerbating climate change. Methane, a potent greenhouse gas, escapes from landfills and livestock farms, while nitrogen oxides from fertilizers and industrial processes react with other chemicals in the atmosphere, forming smog and acid rain. Our insatiable appetite for consumption and our throwaway culture have created a world awash in waste, poisoning the very environment we depend on for survival. We live in a world driven by consumption. a cycle that fuels economic growth but also generates mountains of waste and pollution. From the clothes we wear to the gadgets we covet, our insatiable desire for the latest and greatest products has created a linear economy that extracts resources, manufactures products, and ultimately discards them, often after a single use. This linear model of consumption is unsustainable and places immense pressure on our planet's finite resources. As we extract raw materials from the Earth, manufacture goods, and transport them around the globe, we release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, further accelerating climate change. Breaking free from this cycle of consumption and embracing a more circular economy, where resources are reused and recycled, is essential for mitigating the impacts of our actions. What if our reality isn't what it seems? What if, instead of a solid, tangible world, we are living in a highly advanced simulation? This is the intriguing proposition of simulation theory, a concept that has captivated philosophers, scientists, and science fiction enthusiasts alike. While seemingly far-fetched, the idea that our universe is a simulation, perhaps created by beings far more advanced than ourselves, has gained traction in recent years. Proponents of this theory point to the rapid advancements in computer technology, particularly in the field of virtual reality, as evidence that creating such a complex simulation may not be as implausible as it once seemed. If we are indeed living in a simulated reality, it begs the question, what is the purpose of this grand experiment? Imagine a civilization not unlike our own, reaching for the stars, yet blind to the fragility of its own planet. A civilization that, through its own ingenuity, inadvertently triggered a cascade of environmental changes that ultimately led to its demise. This is not merely a plotline from a science fiction novel, but a sobering possibility that echoes throughout human history. From the once fertile lands of Mesopotamia, now barren and scarred by unsustainable agricultural practices, to the fallen Mayan civilization, believed to have been brought down by a combination of deforestation and drought, history is replete with examples of societies that collapsed due to their inability to live in harmony with their environment. Could our current trajectory be mirroring these past failures, a cautionary tale replayed within a simulated reality designed to teach us the consequences of our actions? Is humanity inherently flawed, hardwired for self-destruction? Are we destined to repeat the same mistakes, leading to our own downfall? Are we, as a species, programmed to prioritize short-term gain over long-term sustainability, driven by an insatiable hunger for more at the expense of the planet that sustains us? This relentless pursuit of growth and consumption seems to be at odds with the finite resources of our world. This is a question that has plagued philosophers and theologians for centuries, and one that takes on a new urgency in the context of climate change. Some argue that our competitive nature, our drive to accumulate wealth and resources, and our tendency to exploit the environment are deeply ingrained in our DNA, remnants of our evolutionary past. Others contend that these traits are not predetermined but rather products of our social conditioning, reinforced by economic systems that prioritize profit over people and planet. If we are indeed living in a simulation, is this self-destructive code a deliberate design flaw, a test of our resilience, or simply an oversight by our simulators? Perhaps it is a challenge, a call to rise above our base instincts and create a more sustainable future. The question remains, can we rewrite this code, or are we doomed to follow it to our own extinction? Section 4. The Grand Simulation. Perhaps this simulation, if it exists, is not a prison, but a classroom. A cosmic petri dish where the architects of our reality are observing our every move, studying our behavior, and analyzing our response to challenges. Climate change in this context could be viewed as a test, a crucible designed to gauge our capacity for adaptation, innovation, and cooperation. Will we rise to the challenge and rewrite our fate, proving ourselves worthy of further existence? Or will we succumb to our own short-sightedness, becoming another cautionary tale in the annals of simulated history? The answer, my friends, lies not in the stars or in the digital code of a hypothetical simulation, but within ourselves. The future is not predetermined, it is ours to create. Section 1. Mirrors of our past. History, they say, repeats itself, but what if it's not repetition, but rather a reflection? What if the challenges we face today, the environmental degradation, the social inequalities, the relentless pursuit of progress at the expense of our planet, are not new, but rather echoes of civilizations past? Look back through the mists of time, and you'll find empires that rose and fell, their fates often intertwined with their relationship to the environment. The ancient Sumerians, pioneers of irrigation and agriculture, saw their fertile lands turn to salt flats due to unsustainable practices. The once mighty Roman Empire, built on conquest and expansion, crumbled under the weight of its own overreach, its decline hastened by resource depletion and environmental degradation. Section 2. The Fall of Empires. These ancient civilizations, despite their advancements in technology, art and governance, ultimately failed to heed the warnings of a planet under strain. They pushed their environments beyond their limits, depleting resources, disrupting ecosystems, and ultimately sowing the seeds of their own destruction. Their stories serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that even the most powerful civilizations are not immune to the consequences of environmental neglect. The collapse of the Mayan civilization, a once thriving society in Mesoamerica, is a poignant example of the interconnectedness of human societies and their environment. A prolonged drought, exacerbated by deforestation and unsustainable agricultural practices, is believed to have crippled their civilization, leading to widespread famine, social unrest, and ultimately collapse. Are we destined to repeat these mistakes, or can we learn from the past and chart a different course? The answer, as with all things human, is complex and multifaceted. We are not automatons blindly following a predetermined script. We are beings of choice, capable of learning, adapting and evolving. The challenges we face are real and the stakes are high. But we are not powerless in the face of these challenges. We possess the ingenuity, the technology, and the collective will to rewrite our story. The question is, will we choose to do so? Will we break free from the patterns of the past and embrace a future where humanity and nature thrive in harmony? The seeds of change, like the seeds of a forest, are often small and unassuming. A single act of conservation, a technological breakthrough in renewable energy, a shift in consciousness towards sustainable living, these seemingly insignificant actions, when multiplied by millions, have the power to tip the scales, to alter the course of history. The future is not a fixed destination, but rather a canvas upon which we paint our choices. We can choose to be the generation that perpetuated the cycle of destruction, or the generation that broke free, embracing a path of sustainability and stewardship. The choice, my friends, is ours to make. The time to act is now. Here we stand, at the crossroads of time, a pivotal moment in the grand tapestry of existence. The path behind us is paved with the triumphs and follies of human history, a testament to our ingenuity and our mistakes. The path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty, a tapestry woven from the threads of our choices, our actions, and our collective will. Each decision we make today will echo through the annals of time, shaping the future for generations to come. The weight of generations past rests upon our shoulders, their triumphs and failures echoing through the corridors of time. We carry their hopes, dreams and lessons, a legacy that guides us as we forge our own path. We are the inheritors of their legacy and the stewards of the planet we call home. Our actions today will determine the world we leave behind for our children and grandchildren. The challenges we face are daunting, unprecedented in their scale and complexity. From climate change to social inequality, the issues are vast and interconnected. Climate change, like a gathering storm, threatens to unravel the delicate fabric of our biosphere. The consequences of inaction are dire, with extreme weather events becoming more frequent and severe. The very systems that sustain life on Earth, the oceans, the atmosphere, the forests, the ice caps, are all showing signs of stress, pushed to their limits by human activity. Our planet is crying out for relief, and it is up to us to answer that call. The time for complacency is long gone. We can no longer afford to ignore the warning signs that are all around us. The time for action is now. Together we can create a sustainable future, harnessing the power of innovation, cooperation and determination. The choices we make today will define the world of tomorrow. Every choice we make, every action we take sends ripples through the interconnected web of life. The consequences of our actions reverberate through time, shaping the world we leave behind for generations to come. Will our legacy be one of reckless disregard for our planet, a cautionary tale whispered on the wind? Or will we rise to the challenge, mustering the courage, the ingenuity and the compassion to forge a new path, one that leads to a sustainable and equitable future for all? The choice, as always, is ours. We can cling to the outdated paradigms of the past, clinging to short-term profits over long-term sustainability, prioritizing individual gain over collective well-being, or we can embrace a new paradigm, one rooted in interconnectedness, in stewardship, in the understanding that we are all part of something far greater than ourselves. The task before us may seem insurmountable, a challenge too great for any one individual to tackle alone. The weight of environmental issues, from climate change to pollution, can feel overwhelming, leaving many to wonder if their efforts can truly make a difference. And yet, history teaches us that it is often the smallest acts of courage, the quietest voices of reason, that ignite the greatest movements for change. From the civil rights movement to the fight for gender equality, it has always been the collective power of individuals that has driven progress. A single spark can ignite a fire that burns down the old and makes way for the new. This metaphorical spark can be a new idea, a bold action, or a simple gesture that inspires others to join in. A single act of kindness can ripple outwards, touching countless lives and inspiring others to do the same. When we come together as a community, our collective efforts can lead to significant, lasting change. Never underestimate the power of your own actions. Each decision you make, no matter how small, contributes to a larger movement towards sustainability and environmental stewardship. Every time you choose to recycle, to conserve energy, to support sustainable practices, you are casting a vote for the future. These choices, when multiplied by millions, can lead to a profound impact on our planet's health. Every time you speak out against injustice, against environmental degradation, against the forces that seek to maintain the status quo, you are adding your voice to a chorus of change that is growing louder by the day. Together, we can challenge the systems that harm our environment and advocate for policies that protect our planet for future generations. The future, like the night sky, is filled with infinite possibilities. Just as the stars have guided explorers and dreamers throughout human history, so too can they guide us towards a brighter future. Let us keep looking up, not with despair or resignation, but with hope, with determination, with the unwavering belief that we have the power to shape our own destiny. The challenges are real, but so too are the solutions. The time for action is now. Let us move forward together, with courage, with compassion, and with an unwavering commitment to creating a world where humanity and nature can thrive in harmony for generations to come. Keep looking up.